Aubrey, I'm excited to talk about listening today. I feel like we get to do so many amazing episodes about IELTS speaking, IELTS writing, and today, guys, we are excited to talk about a very specific listening question we got recently. And the reason we're doing this is because we get this question a lot from students.
Yes, exactly, right? Luckily, our students in 3 Keys are able to ask questions and we answer them ourselves, right? So they know they're correct. They get an answer right away. And they often are, you're right, about listening questions and the specifics, right? When making sure they understand the directions about 2 words and a number or little details, punctuation. There's just so many finite things about
Capitalization,
IELTS. Yes.
right? Yeah. There are so many tiny details that if you don't know them, even if you get the answer technically right, like if it's not capitalized, if you use punctuation for some reason, like if you don't put the S or you put an article and you shouldn't have an article, like all of these things will make your answer wrong. Right. And
And
so,
for a lot of these things, there's contradicting information online. If you look up like
exactly.
random IELTS forums, you'll find 4 different answers. And how do you know who's right? That can be so frustrating and
Very
such
good
a
point.
waste of time.
Yes, very good point. Um, a lot of students find that is one of the biggest advantages of being in the 3 Keys IELTS group is they get to join this private Facebook group only for students in the course, and they don't have to search online and possibly find the wrong answers, right? They know they could just go to this one place and we will answer their question and they know it's going to be correct. Real fast, guys, before we get to this really interesting question about why can I not have an adjective? Is this wrong? I want to remind you that you can get your estimated IELTS band score for free with our short IELTS quiz and get materials to help you prepare, again, for free. So, guys, find out where you're at. How long should you prepare? When should you do the exam? Find out, guys. Go to allearsenglish.com/myscore. All right, so let's read this question and get into this.
Yes. So this is one of our 3 Keys students, and it said the listening task, is no more than 2 words or a number. And the question was, what are Sure Start maternity payments? So the text that they shared is, these are individual grants to help towards the cost of a new baby. And then they said, I went with individual grants, but the correct answer was grants. Help me understand, when should adjectives be omitted and where are they required? Really good question.
I was just gonna say that. Like,
Jinx.
I mean, it's so satisfying for us getting to work with students that are so tuned in, right? I mean, that is the perfect question to ask there, you know? They understand what they need to know to improve. They're so focused. Okay, so the first, just most direct answer we need to get out of the way here is that individual grants would be correct. Using the adjective there with the noun would be correct. The problem is not the student's answer. The problem is the test that they took. If this is like an online test that's for free, if this is some like IELTS listening test on YouTube, there's a lot of material out there. And it's good you could practice the strategies, right? But the bad thing is if the answer is wrong like this and you think you're doing it wrong. If you look at all of the Cambridge test practice books, right? The Cambridge IELTS practice test books. If you look at the real exam answer key, which you never will, but I have, if you see these things, for listening, you will see there are a lot of options, not for every single answer, of course, but here, for example, if this were a real exam, the answer would read grants / individual grants, or individual in parentheses and then grants. So the person grading it knows that both are correct. So that's the most direct answer, that no, that answer would still be correct. But we have some more insider information for you on when the adjective might be wrong.
Yes, exactly. Because if the adjective is included in the question, then you are definitely not going to include it in your answer. This is really important to know. This is a huge tip, so that it's going to be a red flag for you. Like, ooh, do I include the adjective or not? First, check the question. Is it there?
Exactly. Guys, you are never going to have words in your answer that are repeated in the question. Never. This is for listening and reading. Okay. So every word you see in that question, it cannot be in your answer. Okay. This is like such a huge thing to remember. It will prevent a lot of wrong answers in the future and clear up some confusion. So, for example, let's say the question is, how many individual grants are given in 1 year? Okay. Now, knowing this advice now, you tell yourself, okay, I cannot use any of those words. I just need a number. That's it. So the correct answer would be 20, let's say. Now, students who don't listen to our podcast, who don't get our tips, they might write 20 individual grants or 20 grants. Both of those answers are wrong because those words are in the question. So, guys, never use words from the question in your answers.
Yes, exactly. And another tip about if you're doing table and note completion, that you want to look at the whole thing. You want to pay attention to how the notes are written and what's in the other boxes, right? Are you seeing nouns or verbs or numbers, or is it an adjective plus a noun? Because that's your model. That's how you know what to listen for. You're going to listen for those kinds of words and combinations.
Yeah, this really stems from one of our 3 keys listening strategies, guys. Just the ability, the knowledge that you must create time and space around looking for the answer or listening for the answer. Like there are steps you need to take, very specific things you have to do before you start listening. Remember that you are given time to look at the questions. So in that time, this is one of the things you have to do. You cannot just look at the little space where the answer will be, right? You have to look at everything around it so you know what is the context. What exactly am I listening for? So, for example, if it's a table and you're looking at one column and every word in that column is a number, you know you need a number. Something's missing. If everything in that column is adjective, noun, your answer in that column will be adjective, noun. So, you have to use these context clues. Anything you can do to help you get the right answer, you have to do. This just goes towards our philosophy, guys, of controlling what you can and feeling as empowered as possible on exam day. I remember interviewing a student years ago, Roberto from Italy. He got a 9 on listening, and one thing he said was like he was the calmest person in the room. He looked around on the listening test at the beginning of, the IELTS exam, and everybody was like, like fidgeting and like, rah. And he was just cool. He's like, I got this. I did all the 3 key stuff. I know what I'm doing. So these tips today, guys, this is what is going to help you feel that sense of calm on the exam. If you want more like this, check out the complete course, allearsenglish.com/KEYS. And you can always take our free IELTS quiz, guys. Go to allearsenglish.com/myscore.
Yes, this was really fun. I remember when I first took an IELTS listening test, I intentionally didn't find anything out about IELTS. I didn't look
Right.
at the 3 key strategies. Do you remember this?
I
And I
do.
felt so it was kind of panicky. Like I thought I would hear the
Yeah.
audio a second time. I thought there were so many things and I was like, "What?" And then once I had strategies and I knew what to expect, it was 1,000 times easier. It's all about having strategies, you guys, being prepared, knowing what to do. So, yes, get into 3 keys IELTS if you feel like you're needing help on any of the exams. We can help you so that you can get the scores you need.
allearsenglish.com/KEYS. That's so funny, Aubrey. We've been working together for years at this point, and it's really fun remembering the beginning when you
I
were
know
like
it feels like
just
ages
sort
ago.
of getting into it. But guys, Aubrey is 3 keys certified. She has been doing this work with me alongside me for years, guys. She knows what she's talking about.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, Aubrey, thanks. This is a really good listening episode.
Yes, so fun. I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye bye.